All right.
Recording in progress.
All right. Our first Tai Chi for back strength training session. And making sure that we start with Qigong. Let me pin you so I can see you. All right. Start with Qigong. Imaginary string lifting from the top of the head. Let me move myself back a little bit. There we go. Imaginary string lifting from the top of the head. Relaxation cascading down the body. And the first thing we do to start generating heat internally is we start connecting the breath work and the visualization. So first, we have our posture, and we have the details of our posture. So imaginary string, cascading relaxation down the spine as if each vertebrae is getting farther away from the last. Softens all the way through the hips, to the kneecaps, all the weight on the heel, the center of each leg. Center of each heel is where the weight is. And inhaling with the mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth into lower dantian, 3 finger lengths below belly button. Special attention to the middle finger of each hand. And as you exhale, washing the breath, visualizing the color down the arms to the palms and fingertips. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, wash down the arms to the palms and fingertips. And really keep doing this until you start feeling some of the circulation shift. That book, The Manual of Self-Healing, that I was just reading from, has 3 key takeaways per chapter. And in this first chapter, it talks about accepting the fact. And one of the facts to accept is that you have access, that there is no separation between conscious and unconscious. There isn't a wall. It's just, it just requires you to do something special for access to the automatic functions in the body. So, another fact to accept is how your instructions to the body, which are often done unconsciously rather than subconscious. Unconsciously, having a bad thought or worrying, etc., how those thoughts, those feelings, those negative emotions are destructive to the cells because they're not intentional. You're unintentionally harming yourself. So I mentioned all that here because this breathwork and visualization, accepting the fact that wherever the mind goes, the blood circulation intensifies. So accepting that fact when doing this posture is going to help generate more heat along the path that you're breathing, the visual path. Inhaling into the belly, visualizing this path, and exhaling, washing up, down the arms to the palms and fingertips, about an inch or 2 beyond. And soften the hands down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists. Coming out just to the side, just in front of the hips. Exhale, push the color out to the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Take it very slowly. Interlace the fingers. Exhaling down. Keeping the weight on the heels and then shift forward to the balls of the foot, big toe. And inhale, come up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. I'm just going to show you where the weight goes because we ought to be really cautious and conscious about how we engage the back here So we don't want to necessarily bend down and come up too much. So we're going to inhale with the weight on the heels. And notice that my wrists are slightly in front. Exhale, washing to the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Interlace. Exhaling down. And notice I'm staying on my heels for this point. I'm exhaling, coming down. And then I'm going to allow myself to shift forward. And I'm giving myself a little bit of work. And when I say work, I mean pelvis rotating the femur a little bit, but you don't have to do that if you want to be even more cautious. So, at the very least, the weight goes to the balls of the feet and the big toe, and you inhale up. Exhaling down. And remembering that that little mechanic, that little weight shift, the transfer from the heels to the ball of the foot to the big toe, just this by itself is a massive component of power. And being able to generate very, very subtle but effective power. So, inhaling up again. Another question that I have for you is, let's experiment for a moment. We just did our first inhalation, we exhaled out. Oftentimes we're going to do this with our hands slightly in front of the hips, but let's make a slight adjustment for the sake of our back. And let's imagine weight on the bottom of each scapula, the bottom of these shoulder blades. So as if you have weights and the weight is pointing directly down, gravity's pointing directly down. So in other words, that weight is going to pull the shoulders down and back a little bit. How does that feel? So from here to here. You feel any adjustments?
Yeah, I think not good.
Not good. Okay, so it doesn't feel good to drop back a little bit here.
No.
Okay, cool. There are some schools of thought in Tai Chi where you'll find someone dropping here. I was taught the other way, but I've recently come across this school of thought where you drop the weight backward to open up the shoulder more. I think that's interesting, but you always have to do these little experiments on yourself and then ask yourself the question, how does it feel? Because the body will give you the feedback immediately. So inhaling up, inhale even deeper. Interlace, exhaling down. Remember the weight stays on the heels. And then just go forward just slightly and then inhale, come up. Exhaling down. Again, that's the two-stage inhalation. Inhaling up, stage one. Inhaling even deeper, stage two. Interlace the fingers, exhaling down, pulling forward. Inhaling up, stretching out of the hips onto the toes. Exhaling down. Three-stage inhalation, inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color out. Inhale up. One, even deeper, two, even deeper, three. Exhale, wash down. Remember, this exercise is done for us to really start getting the circulation going. So this is great for warming up. Inhaling stage one, exhale out. Inhale even deeper. Stage one again. Even deeper, stage two. Weight on the heel, shift forward. Inhale even deeper, stage three. Stretching out of the hips, onto the toes, on the shoulders. And exhale, wash that color visualization down the arms and down the legs. Now four-stage inhalation. Inhaling up, stage one. Inhale even deeper, stage two. Inhale even deeper, stage three. Inhale even deeper, stage four. Exhale, wash the color out. Exhalation is just as long as the inhalation, or longer. Again, inhale stage 1, even deeper stage 2, even deeper stage 3, even deeper stage 4. Exhale, wash the color out. Now we're going to use the belly for stage 1, and then the obliques for stage 2. Feel them expanding up. Even deeper, the lower back expanding behind you, and then the entire waist like a bell expanding in all directions. Exhale, washing down. One more time. Belly, obliques, lower back, entire waist. Exhale, washing out. Now we'll do the bear. So, because we don't want to do this right now for the back, well, we know I think we should hold off on that. Let's keep the weight shoulder width apart, parallel. We've done this before. Inhale deep, exhale. So as we exhale, inhaling coming up, exhale. Your eyes are going to stay forward, locked on one. Inhale up.
I remember I had trouble doing this. Let me watch you do this for a little bit.
Sure.
Coordination-wise.
Sure. So you're gently melting one hip away. You're keeping the imaginary string, the sense of that alignment, shifting to one leg. So I still have the same alignment. Notice that by melting this hip, my shoulders melt away as well. I'm not pulling my shoulders back though. I'm just allowing the hip to melt away. And I keep this other hand up. This other hand is very relaxed. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And I'm doing my best to keep the sense of my spine straight, flat and straight. Now, obviously, like there's the concept of flat back that you don't necessarily want. The flat has quotations around it here. So tailbone as if there's a weight hanging on it, so it's not tucking in forward because you don't want to flex your groin. You want to put tension in the groin. So tailbone down, imaginary string up to the top of the head. Exhale, 1. So I'm doing my best to keep that sense of straight that I established while standing, maintain and keep the weight on my heel of the supporting leg. Inhale, stand up, shift to the other leg. Keep the focus of the weight going down the center of my heel of the supporting leg. Inhaling up. I'd even say center favoring the inside of the leg, meaning you're favoring the inside of the leg rather than the outside. Beautiful. Yep. And you're really paying attention to the breath work in the belly. Because remember, we're warming all of this up. We're gathering so much here. So, inhale up, exhale down. And note that this is guard. This is what's called ward off in Tai Chi. It's one of the most, especially in like Chinese lore, Chinese opera, you'll see this beautifully presented. Beautifully presented. So it's like a shield. So this is a very gentle shield. Inhale up. And this is a great exercise to practice your sense, the sense of awareness of the posture and creating distance and smoothness, distance between the vertebra and a smoothness of how they're moving by locking your eyes onto something in the distance, you're helping to keep your head, like the eyes and the nose, stay pointing at that object. And anytime we do any of these exercises, we're always internally cycling our attention. Meaning that we're going to go see the breathwork and visualization of the belly, exhale, washing it out and down to the ground. Inhale, bring it into the belly, exhale, wash it down to the ground. And as it goes down, it's going to wash slightly across the hip. It's as if someone's pressing on your hip or pushing on your shoulder and you're just melting away. So the pressure slides off of you. But of course we check in with the weight, our sense of weight. So as we shift our weight, making sure it's going down the inside of the leg toward the center of the heel. And we don't need to go too low at all. We just want to make sure that we're really keeping the feet parallel and shoulder width apart. And that's part of the reason why this is so effective as a martial concept, because it's really taking place from this passive but ready stance. Remember that sense of passive demeanor happens when you maintain the weight on the heel. The second you shift to the ball of the foot, the big toe, it's more of a fight energy. It's more pressure. So you want to keep it on the heel. And you want to have the sense of moving from the hips and the waist, so that as you exhale, the waist is both melting away and being turned. And there's a difference. There's a difference between those two very subtle differences. This is melting away. This is turning. Turning has more of a sense of a pull to it, almost like you're pulling a rubber band back. And so you want to find the balance between melting and turning. And it can be a helpful exercise to take some time to just focus on one and then the other so you can feel the difference for yourself. So let's do 5 on each side, melting. And that melting is as if it just, as you exhale, this just melts away. Any connection to the posture to hold a structure here melts away. Inhaling up. So the oblique softens, the hip softens. And it's as if the other leg is taking, the other side of the body is taking all that's required to hold the side up, being done on the opposite side. And now let's feel how the shift of turning. So now we're going to exhale and actively think about moving this hip back. Rather than melting away, it's as if we're winding up. Inhale up, exhale. As a matter of fact, we'll do these and then we'll actually switch the breath so you can feel the difference even more. So exhaling, turning. And now let's shift the weight. We're going to keep the sense of turning, but this time instead of, because when you think about pulling back, a lot of times you think about inhaling and then letting go, exhaling, pushing out. So let's feel that difference. So we're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, turn, exhale. Beautiful. And just keep reminding yourself that there's no need to pull your arm anywhere, meaning that the only thing that's happening on the arm is that the wrist is lifting up. And now that we're doing the inhalation, it's easier to connect in the mind, in my experience, the sense of the pulley system. So the breath is lifting the wrists as you inhale. Inhaling, the breath is lifting the wrists, and you're pulling the belly back. Exhale, dropping the wrist and the hip. So the wrist and the hip, both, this hip is coming back into place. It's almost like you're putting a gun back in the holster. It should really feel like that, like that. So inhale, exhale. Inhale.
You know, I think it's time for me to do some leg stretching.
Okay.
All right,
That's
just
great.
I'm feeling a little twingy in the lower back.
Okay.
Nothing happened, but I'm just feeling, I don't know, for some odd reason.
I'm going to turn this to the couch, because what we can do is start utilizing the couch.
Yeah, sit for a second. Okay.
Sure.
Actually, let me go grab that. All right.
Okay. You know, I'm going to grab my chair and take this bag over here. So I grabbed my chair. Let's actually work on the exercise that your doctor told you about. So let's just take a moment to take some pressure off the back by putting the hands on the legs. And why don't you show me about that exercise?
Sure. I gotta lay down on the ground. So let me move this down.
Okay.
It's just like 5 different exercises. We do some of them sometimes.
Okay, we're going down.
Actually, a lot of them.
Down on the ground instead. There we go.
Okay, so it's a lot of what we've already done. So it's this one,
Okay.
right? But there are like 5 of them.
Okay, so pulling back.
Pull one in, and the other one in.
So without bringing the forehead to the knee, just pulling the knee in.
Yep. And then both knees in. And then.
So I will say this, that if in my experience doing these knee pulls, even these the leg pulls here, if I'm not warm enough, I will hurt my back. Like yeah, I definitely found that last year, and it was so. I'm saying this as a if you don't feel warm enough yet, we may want to still take more steps to warm up the back. But if you want to get a little rest by laying down, there may be some ways for us to incorporate that and continue to warm up before doing bigger stretches like this.
Yeah, think about it.
Okay. Even reaching the fingers and the heels while laying down.
Yeah.
Even doing that and exhaling as if you're doing uplifting heaven but laying down, inhaling up, and as you inhale up, pushing the heels and the palms in opposite directions. So, I have my feet out, inhaling up. I'm still doing the same concept. Hands here, inhaling up, exhaling down, and then inhale, reach my heels. And if you want to get even more, we can inhale up, exhale down, and bring the knees in, and then inhale up, exhale down. Just little things to start generating more warmth before a pull. Because the second you start doing pulls on the body, you're essentially putting external, like even one hand can be external on another. You know what I mean by that? Meaning that this arm is not self-generating the stretch. It's being pulled by another arm. So that's how, the strength on one side can disrupt the chain on the other side. So we want to warm up just a little bit more here, even bringing in and then inhale. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhale up. Even deeper. Bring the knees up. And then biggest breath stretch. Are there any exercises that don't require a pull?
Well, there's bridges.
Okay.
Um,
You mean such as this coming up?
yeah.
Okay. Definitely recommend focusing on pushing the heels into the ground rather than lifting the hips.
Yeah.
And then just holding for 5 seconds, breathing through it. And coming down 1 vertebra at a time. And doing a nice cycle of 5 of these. And incorporating the breath can be really beautiful as well. Meaning inhaling, pushing up through the heels. Get a big breath as you go all the way up. And then hold that breath for 2-3 seconds. Exhale, wash the color through, and then start to come down 1 vertebra at a time. Anything else?
Yeah. And then there's leg lifts like this.
Okay.
But that's a little bit of a stretch, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a stretch or strengthening. And then there's
Okay, just lifting up and holding.
yeah.
Even with an exercise like this, there's always opportunity to incorporate the breathwork and visualization, and
Yeah.
so like inhaling for something like this, I would recommend inhaling through the toes, as if the toes are like have nostrils on them, or they're like a vacuum. As you inhale, the breath pulls the heel to the ceiling through the toes.
That can sometimes hurt my lower back if I don't focus on keeping it down on the floor.
Mm.
Something like this. And then there's just doing little crunches. Think crunches are safe?
If you've done them and you feel good about it, yeah. I would recommend starting out with the basic crunch, meaning having your feet straight. Yeah, completely straight. And then instead of pulling your neck, unless you feel like you need the support on your neck, I would keep your fingers, index and middle finger, on the temples. Because oftentimes people with the hands behind their head will start to pull their neck and actually strain their neck. And the proper mechanic for the crunch here is only to feel the flex between the rib and the hip. So your bottom rib and your hip line, you want to feel just this contraction here. So you don't need to lift the chest up at all. So you're here and that's it. That's all you need. Because the abs build from the top down. I normally go for about 20 here and then switch to the bent leg crunch and go for another 20. That's great. Also, give me a nice hold for 2 to 3 seconds. I would take a little break too between sets. And what I mean by break is straighten the legs and reach the heels and the fingertips. And inhale. So you can get a little stretch in. And do it twice. Normally I would go, this would be set 1, this would be set 2 with the knees bent, set 3 would be 90-90, and then set 4 would be legs straight up and tapping. But I would really just do what feels comfortable on the back for these.
Okay.
And the only reason you might slap is to get the to give yourself
something fun to do while you count. So you're slapping and you're holding the contraction. So you get the full contraction, slap, 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 and then release the contraction. So it's helpful with control. And the feet would be 90 degrees, so you want to make sure that exactly there's space rather than collapse. And the fingers still touch the temples. So structurally, you're here. Your head is completely on the ground. Crunch, hold the contraction. 1, 2, 3. Fingers back to temples. Release the contraction. And then come up. 1, 2, 3. Back to temples. Release.
And then the final one.
Make sure you get that stretch too.
Yeah.
Even though I have a couch up here, I'm still lifting my shoulders up to stretch the abs.
Yeah.
Shoulders and elbows. So then the final one?
Final one is just, one leg over, right? What, are you saying up?
Oh, I was just concerned. How you feeling?
Okay.
You feel okay? I would. We may want to do some waist Neigong, some more waist Neigong before doing that.
Okay.
I mean, if it feels fine for you, go for it. I just want to make sure that it's as warm as possible.
You look like you were watching a friend, like, step into a fire. Don't do that.
Okay, so you're doing the twist. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing this one that you.
No, these are great. But even these, like, whether you keep the knees down or you keep them 90-90, which is just like the crunch we just did, being able to align the more personal geometry that you have, meaning the more precise you are with your own angles, the more control you're going to have. And then integrating the breathwork into that personal geometry. So what I mean by that, again, is like, for something like this, I would recommend keeping your arms, your fingers, like a straight line, as straight as possible from one finger through the shoulders to the other middle finger. So my hands are out on the ground, either palms facing down or palms facing up, whatever feels better for the shoulders. And then inhaling, coming up, and exhaling, dropping across. And then inhale, use the breath and the obliques to control the movement up, and exhale, drop it down to the other side. And really feeling the breath work as a color pulling in through the limb into the lower dantian. Exhale, releasing it, so that you're always agreeing with the movement in terms of the body mechanic. The lungs are inflating as I'm taking pressure off the lungs, and then I exhale as I'm putting pressure on the lungs with the twist. Inhaling, exhale. And this is also this is a great exercise to work the obliques as well. If you're doing 90-90, you're getting a lot of strength training for the obliques.
Interesting.
So I have a question for you. Can you do something like this, where I'll take my leg and I'll put it on my couch, and I'll put my leg on my couch so that my knee goes past, is supported on the couch, and I'll lay down, have my other hand, arm supporting forearm supporting me, and I'm just gonna lift up. I can keep the hand here, or I can put it on here, and I'm gonna lift up for the groin and then release, come back down. What do you think?
I don't want to try that yet.
Okay. Okay.
Or at least not for today.
Sure. Yeah, and I want to make sure that we start to build everything inside as well, because oftentimes this area will be neglected. So and any of these areas, especially over time, if you get used to working an area and you don't stretch it, so you get used to it, you don't stretch it, and then you don't work other areas, that's where you're going to get locked and weak. And so we want to stretch the areas that often get worked, and then we want to start to work incrementally the areas that don't often get worked, and start to stretch them gently as well.
That makes sense.
How about this?
Hold on, my computer's about to die. Let me go get the charger. Okay?
Sure.
And also, just want to get up really gently.
So I'll do some stretching on the ground.
Okay, feeling good.
It's my brother's birthday today.
Oh, nice. All right, let's if you can, let's continue standing up for a bit. I have an exercise I definitely wanted to show you.
Yeah, let me just get my computer.
Okay. Let's go back up.
I'm gonna sit while you show me. I want to be really careful right now, Jen. Just
Sure.
Because I gotta fly probably tomorrow or the next day.
To San Fran?
I'm hoping.
Nice.
Hopefully someday. So I just don't want to. I want to be really, really careful.
Make sure I can get the right angle here. So the concept for this exercise is that you're going to keep your nose and your chest, ideally even the hips, as close as possible to a surface like a wall or a door. So here I'm going to essentially drop into a squat or horse stance, and I'm keeping my heart, my chin, and my hands on the door and going down as far as I can, and then inhale coming up. Exhale, going down, down, down. Inhale coming up. Obviously, the more flexible you are, the more you're going to be able to open the legs and keep the hips forward, to keep the chest, etc. But it's really great for building strength in the lower back by helping you maintain a posture. Building strength in the entire back and neck. Inhale up. How's that resonate?
Just laughing hysterically.
It's a funny exercise to look at.
It's a very funny one. It's like if I went to out in public and did that at an equinox, I'm just imagining what it looks like.
You would definitely look like someone who may not be the kind of guy you want at an equinox.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? Just for safety, if you're cool with this,
Yeah.
I think it's a really good time to call it quits.
Okay. Sounds good.
Are you cool with that? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to be a little overly cautious right now. I feel really good about what we did today.
Awesome.
I really just wanted to reconnect with you and see you again.
Hey man, ditto, dude. Well, I love you. I'm so happy that you're feeling better and you're back in it. And I'm totally down to continue on Monday if you're available at the time.
Cross my fingers, and I'm hoping we're continuing on Monday from California.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Let me know. Let me know on Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm also hoping, if possible, I don't know, but if I'm spending more time out there, right? I'd love to come out up there and visit you guys at some point, do some personal stuff, and just hang also.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd absolutely love that.
It'd be really fucking cool to get you down to Michelle's.
Oh, dude, you let me know, and I'm out there in a heartbeat.
Like, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. All right, man.
I love you, dude.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
I love you.
Let's just surround ourselves with some white light. Inhaling
Oh,
into the belly.
good. I love that.
Yeah, always got to do that.
It's actually my favorite part.
I would, as a matter of fact, I would say that. So this is something I've been doing, and it's really been helping the bruising from the car accident in my lower back. So, and you've done this before, but we normally emphasize massaging the kidneys here, going down and coming up with the knuckles, and then reversing the circle, going down and coming up. But now let's shift away from the kidneys, and let's go into the actual low back muscles, along the hip line and above it, and just widen out and come back in, and then reverse the circles, widen out and come back in. And you can even take it slow, change the rhythm to just feel what areas of the muscle may need some work and may have some lactic acid stored in it, etc., that needs to be just worked out.
Cool.
Coming up, shaking the arms, slapping it up. We don't even need to bend over for this one. Slap down, up the inside, down the outside, up the inside, down the outside, the inside, down the outside, up the front, over the shoulders, down the back, gentle, 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 around the sides. Massaging into the chest, tapping around, pectoral major, massage, really deep massage into the lymph nodes, and floating rib, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 fingers on the sternum, up and down. Crane fist just on the floating rib and just below it. So go between hitting the bone and right underneath on that line. Gentle massage, not too hard, going right into the spleen and the liver. Floating rib, spleen, liver. And then U shape on either side of the collarbone. Opening the palm, looking up, relaxing all the way through the reproductive organs, and massaging from the collarbone to the chin. Back of the neck, the counterpoint. You're getting sand off the neck. U shape or hook shape right under the lip. Squeeze the chin. 2, 3. And switch for the hormones. 2, 3, 5. Up on the face, to the side, release. Up on the face, to the side, release. Up on the face, to the side, release. Index and middle finger up, over, down, under. Strong pressure up, over, down, under. Up, over for the immune system, down, under.
up, over, pressing up, down, under. And then fingers to the scalp, front to back to front to back, front, massage, front to back to front, slapping, front to back to front, hollow fist, gentle banging, front to back, and then back to front. Grab the scalp and knead it like dough. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, release. 1, release. 1, and then reverse it. 2, 3, release. 1, 2, release. 1, release. 2, release. And then opposites. Really want to get all of the blood circulation into the scalp. So we're going to go opposites. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, from front to back. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, and then reverse it back to front, and reverse the circles. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2. And I can feel some tension even here, so I have to really work through it and breathe through it, inhaling and exhaling into the tension, softening the muscles, telling the muscles what to do. And 4 fingers at the top of the forehead. Oh, do you feel tension back there at all?
I did, yeah, but I'm good now.
Yeah, me too. We're really working on it. Then 4 fingers at the top of the forehead. 1,
All right,
2.
moving to sitting.
Oh yeah, you totally do this sitting. 1, 2, 3, reverse. 1, 2, 3, temples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes closed. Middle finger on the center of the eye. Gentle pressure and circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse it. 1, 3, 4, 5. Rub the hands together. Keep the eyes closed. Put the palms over the eyes. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Wash the color through the arms, through the palms, and let the eyes receive the color. Soften the eyeballs as they receive the light, the color, the heat. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. One more breath. And then take the nails of the thumbs, insert under the eyeball, tap around. Second circle bigger. Third circle biggest. Middle finger on the eyebrows. 1, 2, pressure. 3. Bridge of nose. 1, 2, 3. Side of nose. 1, 2, 3. By the nostrils. 1, 2, 3. By the cheekbone. 1, 2, 3. For the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2. Top and bottom. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Above the gums, and then press. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Below the gums, and press. 1, 2, 3. Tongue. And reverse it. And flick the fingers, thumbs, and then press. Hold. And drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then start tapping around. Each circle bigger, strong pressure until all the pressure points. Third circle biggest. Start coming up on the thumb, top and bottom, and sides. Remember, when you squeeze the top and bottom, you really want the fingers to fall into the natural grooves, the massaging fingers to fall into the natural grooves of the receiving fingers, to get all those pressure points associated with all the organs. Same thing on the sides. Top and bottom. And all the way through the nail,
and sides. Top and bottom. And sides. Bottom and sides. And press between the index finger and thumb. Should hurt just a little bit, not too much. Hold and then massage. 1, 2, 3. Take the thumb and drive the thumb up the natural groove, the arm, to the pressure point. Massage. 1, 2, 3. Take the thumb, put on the pocket of the elbow, index and middle finger on the outside, massage. 1, 2. You can drive the thumb down inside the arm to just above the pulse and massage. 1, 2. Feel the pressure point. And then hit palm on the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then switch sides. Press and hold. Center of the palm. And massage. 1. Drilling in. 2, 3, 5. And around. Third circle widest. And then top and bottom of the thumb. And sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. All the way through the nail and sides. Press and hold. Between the index finger and thumb. And massage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the thumb, drive it up. Up. All the way up this natural groove. Pressure point, massage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thumb in the pocket of the elbow, index and middle finger on the outside, and massage. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drive the thumb down the natural line, the inside of the arm, the soft part. 2, just above the pulse. Feel the pressure point, massage. 2, 3, 4. And then palm on the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands together. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flick the fingers out. Grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And closing the eyes, inhaling white line to the belly. Spread it through the whole body. Inhale, roll white light from the toes to the top of the head like a tidal wave. And exhale, roll it down the back from the head to the heels like a waterfall. Inhale up the left leg to the top of the head like a tidal wave. Exhale down the head, down the right side to the heel like a waterfall. White light. Inhale, white light into the belly. Push it down the legs into the ground and come back up and around like a fountain in reverse, making a big bubble around you. Inhale, white light into the belly. Push it to the top of the head. Make a big bubble around you like a fountain light coming around. Okay. Guys, so we're just finishing up. My son just called. And if you guys ever have any thoughts, questions, or ideas, I'm Coach Jan. I love sharing this stuff. It's my favorite stuff to share, Tai Chi. And
just finishing up a live stream, buddy. You want to jump on Zoom in a second?
Or yeah, I'm gonna hop on him.
Okay, cool. So you guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. We will probably be live streaming tonight. Probably some bag work at our stunt facility because we do our stunt stuff for Justice for Hire. So if you don't follow Justice for Hire, that's our show. It's a martial arts action show that we have with a global community that anyone can join the cast right from their phones. Like I'm literally going to start editing some Justice for Hire episodes in a few minutes. Well, actually, after I talk to my son for we're gonna have some fun first. So, but of course, I love sharing Tai Chi, my core foundation. So, if you have any thoughts, questions, ideas, ever, just put it in the comments. I always post these videos back on YouTube, the live streams, so you can watch them again and always ask questions from there. So today was a really great session. We did a lot of massage, a lot of soft stuff for healing, the strength in the back. So. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon, and love you.